Chosen one, and my beloved child. Stop scrolling. Not tomorrow. Not later. Right now. Because what is about to happen in your life is not random. And if you are not paying attention, you might completely miss the significance of it. For weeks, maybe even months, you have felt something shifting beneath the surface. You could not explain it. You could not prove it. You could not show it to anyone. But you felt it. A strange feeling. A growing awareness. An inner knowing that something is changing. And yet, nothing around you seemed different. The same people. The same routine. The same responsibilities. The same problems. But deep inside, something kept whispering, "Get ready." Chosen one. That whisper was not your imagination. That feeling was not anxiety. That restlessness was not random. It was preparation. Because heaven often sends signals before it sends manifestations. Think about it. Before the sunrise appears, the sky begins to change. Before the rain arrives, the atmosphere shifts. Before a season changes, nature gives signs. And the same is true spiritually. Before God moves visibly, He often moves invisibly. Before the breakthrough arrives, the preparation begins. Before the door opens, the alignment starts. That is why I need you to pay attention to what happens next. Because what is coming will not look the way you expect. And that is where most people miss it. They expect thunder. God sends a whisper. They expect a miracle. God sends an opportunity. They expect a sign in the sky. God sends a conversation. And because it doesn't arrive in the package they imagined, they overlook it. Do not make that mistake. Because over the next season, certain things are going to begin revealing themselves. People, patterns, opportunities, truths. And some of these revelations will surprise you. There are people around you who have been pretending. People who smiled while secretly hoping you would stay small. People who encouraged your comfort but feared your growth. People who celebrated your potential only as long as it remained unrealized. Pay attention, because masks are getting heavy, and what has been hidden cannot stay hidden forever. You are about to see people differently, not because they changed, but because your discernment is increasing. The version of you that tolerated confusion is disappearing. The version of you that ignored red flags is disappearing. The version of you that explained away every warning sign is disappearing. And that changes everything. Because when discernment grows, illusions begin to die. Have you noticed it already? Certain conversations feel different. Certain relationships feel different. Certain environments feel different. Things that once felt normal suddenly feel uncomfortable. Things you once ignored suddenly stand out. Things you once accepted suddenly feel wrong. That is not a coincidence. That is growth. And growth changes what you can tolerate. The enemy knows this, which is why he is trying to keep you distracted, busy, overwhelmed, emotionally exhausted. Because distracted people miss signs. Distracted people miss opportunities. Distracted people miss timing. But you were not brought here to be distracted. You were brought here to be aware. Chosen one. Something is ending, and something is beginning. The frustrating part is that most people only notice endings. They focus on what they lost. Who left? What changed? What no longer works? But heaven is focused on beginnings. Because every ending creates room for something new. Every closed door creates space for a better one. Every removal creates room for alignment. And right now, you are standing between two seasons. One season is closing, the other is approaching. That is why things feel strange. That is why you feel pulled in different directions. That is why your spirit feels alert. You are in transition. And transitions require attention. Because the next breakthrough in your life may not arrive as a miracle. It may arrive as a decision. The next blessing may arrive as a connection. The next opportunity may arrive as an unexpected conversation. The next answer may arrive through a door you almost ignored. Pay attention. Not every opportunity will look impressive. Not every answer will feel dramatic. Not every blessing will announce itself. Some of the greatest shifts begin quietly. A phone call, a message, an introduction, an idea, a moment of clarity. Small things, things most people overlook. But not you, because you are paying attention. And there is something else you need to know. The enemy becomes nervous when people become aware. As long as you remain confused, he is comfortable. As long as you doubt yourself, he is comfortable. As long as you ignore what God is showing you, he is comfortable. But awareness changes everything. The moment you begin seeing clearly, his strategies lose power. The manipulation becomes obvious. The distractions become obvious. The patterns become obvious. And what once controlled you no longer controls you. That is why this season matters. You are not just receiving information. You are receiving vision. Vision to recognize what belongs in your life. Vision to recognize what does not. Vision to recognize opportunities. Vision to recognize timing. Vision to recognize yourself. Because perhaps the greatest thing about to happen next is not something around you. It is something within you. You are beginning to see yourself differently. Not through fear. Not through past mistakes. Not through old labels. But through truth. And when that happens, everything changes. Because people who know who they are stop accepting what does not belong to them. They stop settling. They stop shrinking. They stop apologizing for their growth. And chosen one, that version of you is emerging right now. So pay attention. Pay attention to who reaches out. Pay attention to who disappears. Pay attention to new opportunities. Pay attention to repeated confirmations. Pay attention to what brings peace. Pay attention to what drains it. Because heaven is speaking, not always through words, but through patterns, through alignment, through timing, through discernment. And if you remain aware, you will recognize what many people miss. The next chapter has already begun. You just have to pay attention. If this message resonates with your spirit, comment, I am paying attention. Because what happens next may be more important than you realize. 5.